Anytime we're dealing with a problem involving subtraction, I want you to think about adding the opposite vector. So we know that if we have vector u here, vector negative u is the exact opposite. Same thing if I have vector v, vector negative v would be the exact opposite. Say we have this example, so using the vectors above, I want you to find u subtract v. Now we know that this is really just u plus negative v. So I'm going to have vector u plus vector negative v is the green one that I have here. So I'm going to go tip to tail and I'm going to add that in here. And then I know that my resultant is going to be from the tail to the tip, u subtract v. So in this example, I'm giving you parallelogram EFGH with diagonals EG and FH that intersect at point J. So just quickly, I know you've done some of these, I'm just going to do another one. I want you to express each vector as the sum of two other vectors. There's a lot of different answers here, so if you think about one that's not what I'm writing here, it might work as well. I'm not going to write all of them. So the first one is HF. So the first thing that I'm going to do, and I'll just use a highlighter here, I'm going to say HE plus EF as my first answer. So vector HE plus EF. You could have also said HG plus GF or HE plus HG. I'll just highlight that one in blue there, I guess. So this one would be using the parallelogram rule. That one's a little bit, might be harder to see for some people. The next example, we're looking for GJ. So in order to get GJ, instantly I'm just going to say GH. Oops, should probably use a pen here. So vector GH plus HJ. I'll just go ahead and highlight this in yellow for you. So G to H plus H to J will give me my vector GJ. So for part B, we're going to be focusing on subtracting. So I'm going to start with what I have above, so vector HF, and we know from A that that is equivalent to or equal to vector HE plus EF. Now on the previous slide, I said, remember, we can always change a difference to adding the opposite. So if I want to rewrite this vector HF as a difference, and I just realized that this says is the difference, not as the difference. Sorry about that. I can rewrite this as vector HE subtract, and instead of EF, I'm going to say the opposite, so FE. So just another quick example, we're going to go through vector GJ. So from above, I have that GJ is equal to vector GH plus vector HJ. Now if I want to rewrite this as a difference, I'm going to keep my vector GH, but instead of adding vector HJ, I'm going to be subtracting vector JH, so the opposite of HJ. The last thing that I wanted to remind you is that same with A, there are multiple ways to write the vector as a sum of two other vectors. There are multiple ways to write the vector as the difference of two other vectors. So just because you didn't get this exact answer that I got does not mean that yours is necessarily wrong. And if you have any questions, please feel free to send me an instant message and let me know.